Julian Ashford was late for the biggest board meeting of his career when he saw them, a woman and a little girl huddled in the rain at a bus stop. At 39, Julian had built Ashford International through precision and discipline. He didn't stop for strangers. He didn't feel for strangers. His world was one of contracts, negotiations, and billion-dollar deals. But then he heard a child's voice through the pounding rain. "Don't cry, Mommy. Maybe that man will help us." Julian looked up from his tablet. Through the window streaks, he saw a young woman doubled over on the bench, clutching her swollen belly, and a little girl beside her, soaked through, clutching a teddy bear, pointing directly at his car. His instinct screamed to ignore it. "Keep driving," he told his driver. But as the car stopped at a red light, Julian's eyes lingered. The woman tried to stand, failed, and collapsed again with a cry. The child looked straight at his car, eyes full of hope. Julian hesitated, then said the words that would change his life. "Pull over." His driver glanced back, startled. "Sir, the meeting, I said pull over." Julian stepped into the downpour, his $1,000 suit instantly drenched. The woman was pale, trembling. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" he asked. Her voice was weak. "Sarah, my name's Sarah. I just need to reach the clinic. But the contractions started early." "How far apart?" 3 minutes, she gasped. "Maybe less." Beside them, the little girl clutched her teddy bear tighter. "Please, mister, my mommy needs help. The bus won't come. I don't know what to do." Julian looked into those terrified blue eyes and made a decision. "We're going to the hospital right now. Can you walk?" "I don't have insurance," Sarah whispered. "I can't afford. I'll handle it," Julian said firmly. "We're moving now." He knelt and met the little girl's gaze. "What's your name?" "Emma. Emma Rose Miller. I'm 4 3/4. And this is Mr. Buttons. He's brave." Julian smiled faintly. "Then we both have to be brave, too." He helped Sarah into his car as Emma followed, trusting him completely. The driver's eyes widened but obeyed when Julian said, "Memorial Hospital. Fast." Julian called ahead. "Get the head of obstetrics on the line. Private suite. Bill everything to my account." As rain lashed the windows, Sarah's contractions grew worse. Julian sat beside her, steadying her breathing. "How do you know what to do?" she managed. "My sister has 4 kids, he replied softly. "I've seen this before." Through labored breath, she whispered, "Why are you helping us? You don't even know us." Julian glanced at Emma, whispering encouragement to her teddy bear. "Your daughter pointed at me and said I'd help. I couldn't prove her wrong." By the time they reached the hospital, a team was waiting. As they wheeled Sarah inside, she gripped Julian's sleeve. "Please don't leave Emma alone." "I won't," he promised. Minutes later, Julian sat in the waiting room with Emma in her damp pink dress, both of them wrapped in hospital towels. He bought her hot chocolate from a vending machine. "Your mommy's very brave," he said gently. "I was scared," Emma confessed. "But I told Mr. Buttons that man would fix things. You look like someone who fixes things." Julian's heart tightened. "And what made you think that?" "You looked important. Important people know how to help with important things." Her words pierced him. For years, Julian had been important only to his investors, not to anyone who truly needed him. He asked softly, "Where's your daddy, Emma?" She looked down. "He left before I was born. Mommy says some people aren't ready for love, but that's okay because we have enough love for a whole family." Julian felt something shift inside him. This small child, soaked and trembling, still believed in kindness. 2 hours later, a doctor approached, smiling. "Mr. Ashford. Sarah just delivered a healthy baby boy. Mother and child are doing fine." Emma leapt up. "I have a brother." Julian followed her into the private suite he'd arranged. Sarah lay pale but radiant, holding her newborn. "You stayed," she whispered. "I promised Emma I would." Tears filled her eyes. "I can't pay for this. The room, the doctors." Julian shook his head. "It's all handled, but we do need to talk about what happens next." Sarah stared. "Why? You don't even know us." Julian glanced at Emma, gently touching her baby brother's tiny hand. "Your daughter trusted a stranger. I want to live up to that faith. And honestly, I've grown tired of being the man who would have driven past. Emma reminded me what matters. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes. I don't know what to say. Say yes, Julian encouraged. Let someone help you. Let Emma be right about kindness. Over the following months, Sarah thrived at Ashford International. She was diligent and empathetic, and quickly became invaluable. Emma flourished in the company's daycare, and her baby brother, whom Sarah named Julian in tribute, grew strong and healthy. Julian found himself spending more time with them, not out of obligation, but because this little family had become central to his life. He attended Emma's kindergarten graduation, taught her to ride a bike, and was there for all of baby Julian's milestones. Somewhere along the way, Julian realized he had fallen in love with Sarah, and not just with her, but with the hope and trust she had instilled in her children. One evening, a year after the rainy encounter, Julian said, "I was supposed to be at the most important meeting of my life that day. Instead, I stopped for a woman and a little girl at a bus stop. My board was furious. I lost the deal. But stopping for you made me human again." Emma saw something in me I'd forgotten existed, the capacity to care about more than profit. Sarah smiled softly. "You came with everything and still chose us." Julian took her hand. "I stopped because a little girl believed I would. I stayed because her mother taught her to trust. And I fell in love because you showed me what really matters, not deals, not wealth, but connection, family, and faith." Sarah, overwhelmed, whispered, "I came with nothing. 2 kids, no money, no prospects. You came with Emma, who believed in strangers. You came with hope despite all reason not to. And you came with the ability to raise a daughter whose faith matters more than any business success. You taught me that being someone's answer to prayer is more valuable than any boardroom victory." Julian pulled out a small box. Sarah's breath caught. "I'm asking you to let me be the man Emma believed in that day. Someone who stays, someone who helps, someone who proves that faith in human kindness isn't misplaced." Through tears, Sarah said yes. When Emma learned, she hugged Julian tightly. "I knew you'd help us. I knew it when I pointed at you." Julian had found something more valuable than any deal, a family that taught him that real wealth is measured not in acquisitions, but in stopping when someone needs you, and in proving that a child's faith and kindness is never misplaced. From that rainy afternoon onward, Julian, Sarah, Emma, and baby Julian formed a family. Board meetings could wait. Deals could wait. Because real success, Julian finally understood, was the trust, love, and connection of those who depend on you, and the chance to become the person a little girl believed you were. The man who once raced past the world's urgent demands had learned to stop, to care, and to love, and in doing so, discovered the richest life imaginable.